I joined the Army on 9th of October 1942 at Fort Osborne Barracks in Manitoba. Took training at Portage-la Prairie and then took advanced training at Shallow. And I got posted down to Débarquement, Nova Scotia. All of a sudden they said, "You're going overseas." And they rounded up a bunch of us and down at night and put us on board the Ile-de-France, a big French luxury boat. 6 days, rough seas, blackout all the way, and we never seen daylight till we got to England. And we ended up at Greenock, Scotland. Posted down to a hotel. We were right by the seashore. The Germans used to come over and the flyers used to shell the heck out of the building once in a while. But that's the only action. We seen guard duty watching for Germans coming ashore. And then a Royal Winnipeg Rifle officer came down to visit us at the hotel and asked for volunteers. And I think that's the last time I ever volunteered.
Week by week until the fateful D-Day, Allied invasion preparation shaped up on a staggering scale. The 1,000,001 details took on a pattern against a backdrop of suspense and anticipation on the part of forces and civilians in Britain and jittery Germans across the Channel.
The invasion was on and we're on board a ship ready to invade France. The morning of June the 6th, very rough.
The forces of liberation move to their rendezvous with destiny. The invasion is on.
We're going down the channel and a great big mine come floating, missed us by about, I'd say, a quarter of a mile. And you could see the spikes that were sticking out of it. And I was thinking, boy, if that ever touched us, we'd be blown up. The Germans had built these queer-looking things, like a windmill or cross, and there's explosives set to these things. And they didn't show up until the tide would come in and close over. The Germans were hoping that they'd run into these things and they'd blow our ships up. I didn't go ashore with the first bunch. The first group were about 20 miles off the French coast, and we're watching. They put nets down, get the soldiers into the smaller boats. They were so rough, some of them were dropping in the sea, and I think some of them were so nervous. They just let go of the rope and they got crushed between the two ships, the small little landing boat and the boat they're on. Quite a few got hurt. And it was early in the morning. Some of these soldiers carried phosphorus grenades and they were getting hit and they were floating in the water. They were already dead, some of them. They'd be on fire. The phosphorus never went out. Very strange looking. Scary. But the amazing thing, I think, the first time I ever seen it, was the Bren gun carriers that were floating. They had flotation equipment, came ashore, and then they dropped that and go into action. Once they landed, we come with the bigger ships, and most of the action was over. They had prisoners already, and some of our fellows went out in deep water. I was lucky I was able to get off with hardly getting wet at all. Sailing on the same ship, the Ile-de-France, that I went overseas on, I went home on, and it was different. A lot of daylight and singing and yelling and happy as could be, and it took just a few days. Got on the trains and went back to Fort Osborne Barracks, where I joined up on July 3rd, I think it was, 45.